So tomorrow is a National Cabinet meeting that will be so significant that Australia will be on, well, tenterhooks. What's going to happen? When do I get to go back to work? When do I get to go to a cafe? When do my kids go back to school? That is the beginning of the road down. Some leaders are going to be more cautious than others, but all of them must walk into that room with one goal in mind about how to get to the finish line. I repeat, there will be more cases because inevitably as people move around there will be an increase. But just as we ignored the people who wanted the entire economy to be shut down, we must ignore those voices that 3 weeks ago said everyone should be able to run around. The next phase of those that we should be ignoring are those that are going to say, well, because we went from 4 cases to 8 cases, that means it's going to double every 3 days for the rest of our lives. That's not going to be the case. Australians did a deal to flatten the curve so we can deal with the cases when they present. And more cases will present themselves. But our health system is in a much better spot now than it was 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, and 8 weeks ago, when we thought that a tsunami was coming for Australia. Every death has been tragic. But when hundreds more may take their own lives because of the rules that have been put in place, and at times may be left in place because of too much caution, all leaders need to unite around one principle tomorrow. Where is the finish line and how are you going to get us there? For some, as I say, they will be more cautious, including the New South Wales Premier, who is the leader of a state that has produced 44 of the 97 people who have died, the Ruby Princess and 2 nursing homes. Think about that. I understand why Gladys Berejiklian would be nervous, but she is making some good sounds, particularly when it comes to schools. Alas, she's not exactly where I think most people in her state are when it comes to Mother's Day.
We always want to take steps forward. We never want to be in a position where once we ease a restriction, we go backwards. A little bit of an easing of a restriction can have a dramatic effect on the number of cases. And I don't want to be in a situation where once you tell a business to open their doors, they're not going to do that unless they know they can keep their doors open. I don't want to ever be in a situation where once a business is open, you've told them then they've got to shut back down. And so what we're doing is talking about what does a COVID-safe business look like.
Well, we know what a COVID-safe business looks like. We know what social distancing looks like. Now, I know that Gladys Berejiklian and Daniel Andrews are both those kind of leaders where they want to ignore people that are trying to push them in one direction or the other. Now, particularly in New South Wales, they are starting to ignore the Teachers Federation, and conversely, they have ignored those that have said it's time to reopen and reopen everything now. So they may well ignore what I'm saying now. But what they need to do is talk to as many normal people as possible. Because the difference between the people who are most affected by the restrictions and those that are putting them on is that the people who will sit around National Cabinet tomorrow all have guaranteed employment. They've all been able to leave the house every single day through all of this. But millions of people haven't been allowed to leave their house, haven't been able to go to work, have panicked every day. I can show you a ream and ream and ream of emails of people who are saying, I can only hold on for 1 more week, seriously 1 more week. That's why the idea of sort of ever so slowly, we can't do it. Where's the finish line? How are we going to get there? We need to know that from tomorrow.